Today I want to share with you guys my very first pure Michigan story. So to set things up for you guys, my friends Sam and Chris, who both go to Miami, Ohio, invited me to go about 6 hours north near Traverse Bay, Michigan, to do a little smallmouth fishing. Now Chris has fished here before, he's had a lot of success here in the spring, but this was kind of our first time fishing up there in October, and this is my first time ever being that far up north. So I was all in. Any chance I have to catch some northern smallmouth, I am definitely going to commit to. So I ended up missing one day of class. I drove about 3 hours west to Oxford and arrived there around 5 p.m. give or take. Okay, after a long 3-hour drive, finally made it to Miami. Got all my stuff out right now, waiting for Chris and Slam Dice to pull up the car so I can load up everything up. Upon arriving, I loaded up the car with all my stuff. I had to bring my big laptop, my rods, my reels, like all this stuff into Chris's big car. And then at 5:30 p.m. we ventured 6 hours, about 6 to 7 hours north. Now it was a pretty decent trip. We knew we were gonna get there pretty late, around like 12 a.m. or something like that. I think we made one stop at Chick-fil-A. How many hours do you think you left?
Probably like 5.
Oh my God. Your fries are like really hot too.
Oh, just
yeah. But other than that, we wanted to go straight through. That is until we hit one bump along the road. Pulled over on the side of the road right now because of this. Look at that. Pretty much toast. It's cracked right there. Oh my God.
You getting this on video?
Yeah, this is gonna be epic.
You should do a how-to. The car died. No way.
No.
They're cursed. No way.
No. I was wondering, I was like, it stopped making like, the music stopped and the lights turned off. Oh my God. Got the car started. Some guy pulled over on the side of the road and jumped the Suburban, so that's good news. Yes, oh my God, I think we might have figured it out.
There we go.
Oh God, it's, oh my God. That's what was on our trailer, or on Chris's trailer for about 5 minutes. So this little diversion set us about 2 hours behind, and we didn't end up getting to the hotel until around 3:30 a.m., which is extremely late considering we wanted to wake up early and do some smallmouth fishing. Finally made it here, the hotel parking lot. I'm so tired and so ready to go to bed. So the next day we woke up at around like 9:30, 10 a.m. because of like the late night that we had before, and Sam and I were super pumped. You know, Chris had been talking about this place and we'd seen pictures, and we just knew the potential of some of these waters up here in this area of northern Michigan. Lemon poppy seed muffins, are you kidding me? I don't mess with lemon poppy seed muffins, man. Ugh, there's my breakfast. Looking good, looking good. We got outside and I was immediately shocked as to how windy it was. Dude, there's no way. Is there any calm spots in this area? Where that like little hill is? Dear God.
1:30 in the morning.
That's like
nowhere, Michigan.
So regardless, we went to the local Gander Mountain to pick up some goods since both Sam, Chris, and I were low on some fishing equipment. Hey, Gander Mountain, gonna do some shopping. This is $150. So we picked up all the cold water necessities like jerk baits, swim baits, everything smallmouth-like during these cold months of fall. At the ramp right now. Only problem is the car died, so kind of need that to work in order to get the boat in the water. Yeah, I also forgot my Metanium back home, so I'm like with 3 reels right now. It's pretty cold out, but that's the least of our worries. Jumped the car for the second time. It's crazy.
go, baby.
Nice.
Back in the boat. Do we have the keys?
To the boat?
Yeah.
Nope. Kind of hard to launch the boat when you still have the strap on. Hold on, let me get on too. All right, let's try this again. There's the lake. That's where we're gonna catch a giant smallmouth right there. So we get out there, we're making these big long runs out to the spots that Chris has already got pinpoint out from past spring spots. And we're going up and down and up and down. Took air on that one. Oh, yeah. And sure enough, I feel something hit me in the face. Like, your eyes are all watery because like you're running in really cold weather. You're going 40, you're not really paying attention. Something hits me in the face, flies back there, and I'm like, what was that? It like kind of got tangled on my ear or something like that. And I was like, is it like a piece of like a shirt or something? I don't know what it was. We get to the next spot. I'm like, all right, time to throw the drop shot. I'm looking around the boat and I'm like, where's my drop shot rod? My rod came flying out of the boat and hit me right in the face. And then went right behind me. So, how many fish did we catch? 0. We were not there for too long, but it's too nasty right now. So that was about $180 down the drain. I had just spooled that reel up too. That was what I was really heartbroken about because I had brand new Seaguar line on there. So we go to a smaller lake, and upon arriving to the ramp, I was just like, this is not a good idea. I don't know if this is gonna work. We'll see. Yeah, pretty cold. You want me to get in too?
Yeah.
Oh, this is fun. Whoo! Backing a boat up with waves going in the same direction is just not the right equation. You're gonna get a bunch of water in the boat. Regardless, we launched in there. You don't get to see what kind of happened and what unraveled from that experience, but as you can see, I turned the camera right off, and as soon as I turned it off, all hell broke loose. I mean, we had water in the boat. The hydraulics on the main motor wouldn't go down, so there's no main motor to push us out of the spot, so we were getting pounded right back into the gravel on the concrete ramp. You could hear the fiberglass starting to grind. Sam and I are in the boat while Chris, who's the owner of the boat, is parking it, and Sam's like, what do we do? And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, nothing. There's nothing that you can do. So we were just like, oh my God, you know, Chris's boat's getting grinded. He comes over, he gets in the water to push it off. So we didn't even bother with that lake. We headed off to our next spot. We tried an even smaller location. Out in the second lake right now. Sam is soaking wet because he took a spill at the launch and starting to sleet a little bit, as you can see on the boat.
Got that sand up your hands.
Yes. So we got to this next spot. Sam's walking the boat down with a rope just so it doesn't get blown back into the shore like last time. But I guess he misses his step and walks straight off the dock. Gets completely submerged from the waist or the chest down, and he was soaking wet. I looked at him, I was like, dude, are you sure you want to keep going? He's like, yeah, let's do it. You know, Sam's hardy, he's all up for cold weather, he's an ice fishing dude, so that didn't even bother him. So we get back on the boat, launch out there. The first flat that we hit up, Chris pops a decent little largemouth. Chris got a first fish. It's not the right species though. But it's a bad though. Yeah. So after that fish, Chris got his line caught in the trolling motor, so we were out of service for a little bit, and that was just enough for a big gust of wind to push us up and get us stuck in a flat. Chris is taking a quick swim. And so Chris and Sam are now both soaking wet, and he pushes the boat off for a second time. So we go down the bank of this very small lake. Chris whacks a few other little largemouth on the jerkbait, but that's not what we're going for. He came up here 6 hours north of Michigan to get a quality trophy smallmouth, and this lake just didn't have it. So we get off that body water. Sam is freezing cold. They've been out in the water for how long? You guys have been...
We've been out on the water for 5 hours.
No, but with your feet though, with your feet being cold.
Oh, I've been soaked
mine was
for 2
only
hours.
like an hour and a half. I wish I could say it was worth it.
It's not though.
But so far it wasn't.
No, so far it's not been worth it. Maybe tomorrow it'll be worth it. Maybe all this pain will like just kind of be relieved tomorrow. But so day 2 was a little bit different situation. I didn't film as much this day, which I kind of regret, but there really wasn't much going on. To begin with, we woke up and there's just like snow going sideways. I mean, it's coming down, it's windy, and it's snowing. What is that? I don't even know what to say. Oh boy. It snows for about like an hour, then it stops and it all melts. It was like really weird bipolar weather. It didn't like warm up, it just was warm enough to melt the snow. I don't know, it was really strange. So we get back out on the lake that we wanted to try originally. Get out there, it looks kind of rough, but we can see in a distance that there's some calmer areas, so we decided to give it a go. So this other location that we hit up was like a twin lake situation where there's two neighboring lakes, one's a smaller, one's a larger, and it was getting kind of late at this time, but the wind was actually starting to calm down. Wow, it is really pretty out regardless of...
Looks like there's... It's hard to tell.
So we get out there, we find some decent conditions. We find this moderate depth drop, which is in deep enough water. The water's a little bit warmer over here, there's some grass, and we thought for sure we could probably get on a decent fish. I pick up Chris's reel with Sam's rod on it, and I'm throwing a little tube, I'm popping it, and sure enough, I get slammed right at the boat. I set hook, I'm like reeling this thing in, I'm like, dude, this is nice. I'm getting it up, I'm like, this is a giant, like I just know it is. I get it right at the boat. Chris is like, oh my God, you know, like he sees it, I can barely kind of see it because I'm in the back. And Chris is like, bring it here. I'm like bringing it. It thrashes right at the boat, so I had to reel up the line real quick, spits the tube. 4 pounds smallmouth, just gone like that. So I'm like so frustrated at this point. I didn't show it, the guys probably didn't see it, but I was just like burning inside. I was boiling because I'm fighting through all this wind, fighting through all this nasty stuff, and I finally have one opportunity. That was my first bite within 2 days of fishing. I cast right back out there, I work it on like the 5th cast, I get another really nice bite. Set the hook it for about 5-6, and it pops off. I'm like, oh my God, 2 back-to-back opportunities to get a decent smallmouth, and I missed on both. I'm just so discouraged at this point, and it wasn't at a good time of the day either because it was right around 4 p.m. and we had to kind of get off the water because it was getting so late. Day 3. Let's get it. So day 3 is a little bit better. The wind has died down, but it's like one of the coldest days. It's like probably 38, 39 degrees.
Warm today, baby.
Oh, we're nice and toasty.
You boys ready? This is it. This is the day. Last day is when we pull through. So we go back to the lake where I had those bites the afternoon before, and I tie up my tube. I'm super stoked because I know there's probably still there. You know, this time of year they move around, but you got fish going in and out, different types of smallmouth and sizes going in and out of a decent spot, and this is a perfect location. So I go down there, I'm working the tube, and I'm getting nothing.
They try to crush the braid.
Not even a sniff, not even a bite. We worked this spot for like an hour. We finally got an answer, but it doesn't seem to pull through on the 3rd day. So we made the decision to kind of just go over and shallower water. We found this like 9-foot flat, which may not seem like the best place to fish in the conditions that we were given, but we go out there and we do this drift, and we're drifting tubes. If you've ever done it before, it's probably the most boring thing on earth.
Are those coffee tubes like full of salt too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
These are nice tubes.
Huh?
Nice tubes there.
It'll get in the grass. It'll get in the grass though. See, that's what I was using. It was getting out of the grass. Now I'm getting hung up in the grass.
Yeah.
So we're all like kind of drifting the tube. I think Chris maybe was throwing the jerkbait. We're kind of drifting along, letting the light wind push us, and I get thumped. So cool. Yes! 4 days with no fish.
3.
Or 3 days with no fish, and I finally caught one. On a little tube! Like the feeling that was going through me once I pulled this fish up onto the boat was unexplainable. I've caught hundreds of smallmouth in my lifetime, but nothing compared to that moment that I finally caught a smallmouth in those brutal conditions. So I think the most frustrating part about this trip was like the weather and the fact that we were fishing some of the best smallmouth locations in the nation. I mean, these lakes were almost like designed for smallmouth. You know, they were naturally occurring lakes that were adjacent to Lake Michigan, but they were deep, they were extremely clear, had a bunch of grass, had a bunch of sand and gravel, and perfect. And it was just so frustrating to have these perfect lakes that you know hold amazing fish, but not being able to grasp them in your hands. So I made this video not just to show you my very exciting and eventful experience in Northern Michigan, but to kind of teach you guys and talk to you guys about the things you can control and the things you can't control. The things you can't control are the nasty weather, the stuff that's constantly going to be in your way and causing as an obstacle to keep you from catching that trophy fish. The other factor that you can't control are the fish. They're going to be very unpredictable, and they're going to go against the rule book of bass fishing and make you scratch your head constantly. That's something that you can't control and put into your power. But the things that you can control are what kind of lures you fish, how much effort you put into the day's worth of fishing, how much work and homework and time you spend out in the water. These things you can control, and these things can make a world of difference when you're out there fishing in any conditions, whether it be super cold or super warm. So that's my lesson for you. Break apart the things that you can and cannot control. Don't let the things and the factors that you can't control frustrate you and get in your way. Fight through that stuff with the things that you can control and that you can use to your advantage when you're out in the water. Thanks for watching today's video, and I hope you guys found the story to be interesting and somewhat enjoyable. If you haven't checked out my channel yet or haven't seen any of my recent videos, please go ahead and subscribe and do so that way. If you guys have any comments or questions or things you just want to share with me, please be sure to comment in the comment section below or shoot me an email. Always enjoy reading what you guys have to say. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time on the next episode of Fishing the Midwest.